It's Monday, October 13th, 2025, and this is episode 345 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. I'm Mark Duvall.
And I'm Dr. Mike.
Dr. Mike, you enjoying all these fall sporting events? You sitting at home watching all the games?
Oh, yes, I am. I've been last weekend, this weekend. I just plan to sit around and watch football. I mean, I do a chore or two in between, but yeah, loving it.
Yeah. And, let's get this out of the way. Yeah, the Padres did not advance. Dr. Mike and I are numb to it, just as we're numb to not hitting royal flushes. This has gone on our entire lives.
This is nothing new for us.
Yep, nothing new.
As a matter of fact, we counted on it happening.
We mentioned it, didn't we? And of course, we were hoping that by mentioning it, it wouldn't really happen. But yeah, to go out in the first series, that's too bad. Now, I will say this, Dr. Mike. Seattle Mariners fans, not Seattle sports fans, because the Seahawks have won the Super Bowl.
Right.
But as far as Mariner fans go, they are actually long-suffering. Well, maybe not as long, but their suffering is worse than Padres fans because they've never even made the World Series.
Right.
So as of this recording, last night was that marathon, was it 14-inning game? 15
inning game.
Where the Mariners finally won. So if you guys support...
Well, that put them in the
ALCS.
The ALCS.
Right.
But they still got to get by Toronto.
Oh, yeah. They may have the same curse as the Padres. I'm just saying, for any listeners out there that kind of support Dr. Mike and me in our depressing support of the Padres, maybe throw a little support to Mariners fans because they could certainly use it. And
it'd be nice to see them. I'm always rooting for the Padres, but if they're not going to make it, I like to see a new team in there.
Oh, of course.
Somebody I can get behind, like, they've only been to the World Series once. Be nice to see them win it. I don't want to see the Dodgers again. I don't want to see the Yankees, even though Toronto has won. Right. I don't mind them winning. Right. Milwaukee, I don't mind them winning either. But some of the teams that are just constantly there, it's like, okay.
Mike, what do you think about this? I think most of us, sports fans, we support one or two teams within a single sport, and then we hate a lot more teams. In other words, we hate more teams than we like. Wouldn't you say that's kind of true of sports fans?
I would say that. I don't know if I use the word hate.
Okay, dislike. Maybe that is too strong.
Dislike.
But you find yourself,
dislike.
Rooting against teams that continue to go back. And this is not just baseball, but football and anything. And so
of course, it's
kind of hard to get behind teams that aren't your favorite teams because you dislike so many other teams.
Right.
It's like, who do you want to see go to the Super Bowl this year? Oh, how about Kansas City? How about Philadelphia? No.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Right.
You want to see the Browns go. I mean, that's not going to happen, but...
but it'd be nice, right? I'd like to see the Chargers go myself just because, used to be San Diego Chargers. And we've only had one Super Bowl appearance, which we did not do well in.
Yeah, no, we were terrible in that. But I'm sorry, Mike, I can't really get behind the Chargers. I mean, I'll root for them if they're playing against a team I don't like. And like I said, there are a lot more teams I don't like.
Right.
But, to me, they're dead to me. Let's not beat this any more than we have.
Well, they're not to me because I left California, see.
Oh, okay.
I don't live in San Diego.
That's true. So you can choose.
I can root for them. You still have to carry the grudge.
and I will. Proudly.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I certainly do not blame any fan who lives in a city and rooted for a team for a long time, and then their team moved.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. If you were an Oakland A's fan.
Yeah, right.
Forever, right? And I mean, they weren't doing well. I understand why the team wanted to move, but like the Cleveland Browns.
When the Cleveland Browns, the original team, or like when the Colts left Baltimore. Yeah, I know they got another team, but that was brutal.
I remember when the San Diego Clippers left to become the LA Clippers. That was in the middle of the night. Middle of the night, a bunch of trucks show up and load all their stuff at the sports arena and take off to LA. If that isn't like stabbing you in the heart if
Yeah.
you're a fan of that team, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right. I knew this was going to go negative as soon as I brought up hating teams.
I know this is going to sit poorly with Las Vegas fans, but my two favorite teams in football are usually the Chargers and whoever's playing the Raiders.
Sure. It's an old standby, my two favorite teams.
Yeah,
the Chargers and whoever's playing the Raiders. And I'm sure there are a lot of other teams that have similar sentiments, depending on who they're.
I'm not big on the 49ers. I'm not big. I can tell you a lot I'm not big on.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Mark, I've heard from reliable sources that most, not all, but most of the Las Vegas Raiders do not push their chairs in when they are in a restaurant.
Oh, boy. Yeah. You know what? I guess I'm not surprised, Dr. Mike.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, you want to learn a new table game?
Oh, I'd love to learn a new table game, Mark.
Yep. This one is called 5-Card Pai Gow Poker, and it's pretty straightforward. In regular Pai Gow poker, you make a 5-card hand and a 2-card hand. And in 5-Card Pai Gow, you make a 3-card hand and a 2-card hand. And the 3-card hand plays like 3-card poker, the table game 3-card poker, right? So it's not just a pair or better. The best hand is a straight flush, then 3 of a kind, then a straight,
right?
Then a flush, right? A straight is higher than a flush in 3-card, then a pair, and then just high card. And then the 2-card hand is just like in regular Pai Gow poker. Either you have a pair or you have a high card, right?
Right.
There is no joker, so that is a little bit different too. No joker in 5-Card Pai Gow. The dealer's house way, and this is interesting, and we'll bring up why this is the case. The dealer's house way is to make the 2-card hand as high as possible without fouling the hand. Because just like Pai Gow poker, the hand behind the 3-card hand has to be higher than the 2-card hand. So the dealer may break something up to play the best hand that they can in the 2-card hand without fouling.
And still be a legitimate hand.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
So in this case, in this rule, they would always make their top as high as possible.
Yeah, let me give you an example. Let's say the dealer gets queen, 10, 9, 3. All right? Now, normally you would think, okay, play the pair of queens in the 3-card hand and then 10, 9 in the 2-card hand, right? But in this case, you'd play queen, 10, 3 in the 3-card hand and then queen 9 up top. Right?
Yeah. I don't know if that's very smart.
Well, here's why. The way they get around the 5% commission, because there's no commission on this game, is if the dealer has 10 high or lower in their 2-card hand, the dealer doesn't qualify and the hand is just a push.
Okay.
Okay, so in that example I gave you, if they played it the, quote, right way, unquote, queen, 3 behind and then 10, 9 up top, they wouldn't qualify and it would be a push.
Right.
But by forcing the dealer to always play the best 2-card hand they can, they would qualify with queen, 10, 3 behind and queen, 9 up top, which is a terrible hand.
Right.
And that benefits the player. So that's the significance there.
Okay.
Now, one more thing here. It's also face up. So you get to see the dealer's hand before you set yours. They set their hand beforehand. It's face up.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about it. I mean, you set your hand the best way, says the guy who's, misplayed his face up Pai Gow hands many times on recent trips.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah. I'll try to remember to post. There's an online version you can play for free to kind of get a sense of how it goes. Yeah, I'll post that in the show notes. It actually is kind of fun to play, and it's certainly faster than regular Pai Gow poker. There are a bunch of side bets as well. What you'll get, what your 5 cards will get as like a real poker hand, all sorts of different sides. Will the dealer get Pai Gow? You can get insurance against you having Pai Gow, all sorts of different side bets.
Okay.
But,
well, that's where the casino's making their money.
Yeah, and people love to make those side bets. This was last seen, at least as far as I know, in April at Harrah's Las Vegas. So not sure if it's still there, not sure where else it might be, but there you go, 5-Card Pai Gow.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting game. We'll see if that catches on at all.
Yeah, it's one of those we'll sees, and probably not, but who knows? I mean, it's very simple, and it is kind of fun to play those 3-card poker hands, in the
Yeah.
3-card hand.
Yeah, see, now that's a game my dad would probably really like.
Yeah, right. He never really got into Pai Gow. I don't think he ever really understood it much,
No.
but that is something that he would be able to do, especially since it's face up. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. If they have that when I'm in Vegas next, I will play that because to me, that seems a little more interesting than like sitting down and playing Baccarat.
Oh, well, sure. And we've talked about, we've talked about Baccarat. Yeah, even blackjack. Yeah. Well, Dr. Mike, there's a new show on Hulu called Chad Powers. It is a comedy. It's about a college football player, a disgraced college football player,
right,
who pretends to be a new player named Chad Powers.
Disguises himself.
Right. And I don't know if you've seen it. It's a good enough show. It's kind of funny, but...
Yeah, I've glimpsed at it.
Yeah. One of the reasons he's disgraced, I won't go into all the reasons because there are many reasons he's disgraced and shunned. But one of the reasons is because when he was in college, he was in the national championship game, and he was running in for a touchdown, and he let go of the ball before he was completely in the end zone. People have probably seen clips of players doing that in the past. It's like, just hold on to the ball. And I'm watching the show and I'm thinking it's kind of funny, but certainly that wouldn't happen now, and certainly not with professional ball players. 2 times in as many weeks in the NFL.
Mark, nothing makes me more upset than that. We happened to lose because of that.
Oh, yeah. So the first time, right, it was the Colts. It was Adney Mitchell who did it. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Colts ended up winning, but what an embarrassment. I was texting you. I said, oh man, he needs to stay off social media. People were brutal. It's like, oh yeah, well, that's never going to happen. The very next week, Amari DeMercado, the same thing. The next week, you would think that NFL players
Arizona would
be on alert. Yeah, that affected us. We had Arizona, and I'm sure a lot of people did, in their survivor pools.
Right.
And it did make the difference in the game. Absolutely no excuse. You don't hear me get this worked up on the show, but this is inexcusable.
I have a hard time rectifying it in my head.
I think it's kind of like they're showing off, or they're showing how cool that, just nonchalant. Made a touchdown.
Wouldn't you just wait until you got like 2 feet in the end zone, then drop it? Does it look better to drop it as you're crossing? I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it at all.
No, it is hard to wrap your head around. The fact that it happened, and then the fact that it happened a week later, it blows your mind.
I mean, if you are really trying to show off, cross the end zone and jump in the air and do 2 somersaults before you come on the ground. That would impress me. Dropping the football as you cross doesn't really impress me. I don't know about other people, but I'd have a hard time coaching a player like that. I don't know if I'd want him back on my team. I don't care who it is. I mean, he'd be our best player. If he did that, I'd kind of always think, well, you're an idiot.
You would hope, though, that would never, ever happen again to the same player. And speaking of Chad Powers, on a subsequent episode, he does go in and score a touchdown, and he's holding onto the ball really tightly. He even refuses to give it to the ref when the ref's trying to get it from him, right? So he at least
make sure he scored.
Yeah.
It is embarrassing when you're playing a sport and you do something just totally stupid, but they're stupid, and then you weren't showing off or anything. It's just something happened.
Yeah, you make a mistake, or you fumble the ball. You legitimately fumble it, something like that. Right. Because you got hit, or but no.
Well, anyway, it's just ridiculous.
I immediately go to Twitter when this happens. Of course, people are brutal. People are too brutal, to be honest. I mean, yes, it's okay to kind of yell, oh, what was this guy's thinking? It's so stupid. But of course, he's going to be as hard on himself as anybody else, right? He's going to just feel worse if he goes on to social media or anything else. But yeah.
Well, we've seen it in football there, and we've seen it in baseball.
Well, if you're talking about that play at the plate the other day, is that what you're talking about? No. We're talking
Well,
about something.
He wasn't trying to show
He wasn't
off.
showing off. He panicked.
He just panicked.
Yeah, that's
But
completely different.
But as a pro, that sets rough with you.
Of course, he's going to feel terrible. Oh,
for him, yeah. I mean,
but
people aren't probably going to blame him, although they did blame, what's his name, for letting the ball go through his legs.
Oh, Bill Buckner. But that's a mistake. He's not being nonchalant about it. That was just high pressure. No, this is completely different. With these mistakes that you're talking about in baseball, the coach comes up to him and, hey, that's baseball. It's going to happen. I know it's tough. But when the guy drops the ball into the end zone, the coach lays into him. Like, what the hell?
As a person, though, you make an error that you should have made,
it's hard on you.
You should have caught that ball or something. It's hard on you.
But when you're showing off or relaxing,
your teammates could forgive you.
Right.
Right, because it happens to all of us. But when you're doing what the NFL guys did and just, if you want to call it showing off or whatever, as a teammate of that person, I'd never forgive them.
Yeah, never's a long time, but I'd be very upset. I wouldn't be going over, hey, that's part of the game, No, this is different.
I definitely would.
Yeah, I'd probably stay away from him for a while,
Sometimes I catch the ball and run 3 feet and then drop it.
Yeah, that happens. I'm thinking, ooh, I'm going to hold the ball over my head as I, do a dance. I drop it. That happens. Yeah, if you just want to have some fun, go onto YouTube and do a search on premature celebration. There are a lot of examples that will quench that thirst.
To be honest, I would talk to Paul about this quite a bit. I never liked when anybody celebrated during a game.
Oh, because they haven't won the game. Right.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, some guy would make a tackle and then get up and celebrate the tackle, and their team's losing by, 3 touchdowns.
Well, that's just...
And I'm thinking, what?
Yeah, that's personal choice, though. I mean, I agree. I kind of agree too, but I'm not going to kick a guy off a team for doing that.
No, I wouldn't kick him off the team, but if I was the coach, I'd have a long talk with him and say, you know what, maybe celebrate, when we're winning or after, or if you tackled somebody to save the game, but we're down by 3 touchdowns and you tackled the quarterback. I don't think there's need for a little show.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Mike, let's thank everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, on to voicemails. First up is Mark.
Hey, Mike and Mark. This is Mark in Florida. I've been listening to you guys for a long time and really enjoy your show. Hey, I want to share a huge gambling blunder and a bad experience that I had, and I don't want to wish on anybody. I was playing for a while at the Hard Rock in Tampa. I was playing a lot of video poker. I was playing a game called Powerhouse Poker where you pay additional coin for each hand and then you get a bonus. And the way it works is the better your winning hand is, the more extra hands that you will receive. So if you get a pair, 2 pair, and so forth, I think it maxes out to a full house will give you 30 extra hands. So anyway, I was playing this for a while. I was playing 10 play, 10-cent denomination, so it's $10 each pull. And I was doing quite well. I was actually fairly profitable. And I got one hand come up where I was dealt 4 jacks. And this got me really excited. I pulled out my camera. I don't video or take many pictures, but I will take a short video of nice winning hands once in a while just for my own enjoyment. So I get out my camera. I'm fumbling around with it. I get it set to video, and I'm looking at the screen, and I hit the play button, and then I hit the button on the machine. And as soon as I did it, I knew what happened. I had not held the cards, and so it just started to give me all new cards, and I discarded the 4 jacks. And I got to tell you, there is no worse feeling than that. I was screaming inside, "Oh no, what did you do?" Just distracted by the camera, did not hold the cards, which, is just a stupid error. The cautionary tale here is I want to give to everybody, if you're playing this game or any of these poker games, my God, take a few moments and be sure you hold the cards that you want. It's a worse feeling than any bad beat that you'll get in poker or something. It's like lighting money on fire. It's actually a good ending to the story in that I left. Actually, the session I played, I continued to play some more, and I had a nice profit by the time I left. But there is no worse feeling than just throwing away a good hand. I had 20 hands then that were 4 of a kind. I guess the win would have been $250. Just wondering if there's something you could do like that in craps, like you take down your $500 4 just the minute before the shooter rolls a 4 or something. I don't know, but boy, I just want to share that. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.
How appropriate that this is our first call after that NFL story.
Yeah. Did you set that up?
I didn't. I didn't even think about it. That just happened to be the first call.
Perfect. He fumbled at the.
It's a good example. He's showing off. He's getting his phone out. He wants to take a picture of it.
Oh, that was perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've all done that. I mean, I know I have, not so much taking a picture, but I know I've done it where I've been so excited
admiring
I got
it.
it.
Yeah.
Or something, and I accidentally pressed something, or I thought I pressed it.
Yeah.
Like I'm save, and the fourth one I thought I hit it, and I either didn't or I hit something else, and then all of a sudden I don't have it.
You'll see some videos online of people who have like Fort of the Royal, and they start recording. Okay, here we go, Fort of the Royal. Same situation, right? They don't hold the 4 cards, and they just hit deal, and you see them all. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
All right, let's hear from our good friend Kevin.
Hi, Mark. Dr. Mike. Kevin from Madison. Just a quick trip report from early last month to Circa. I wish I could regale you with stories of riches and wins and successes, but that isn't going to happen. Given it was the first week of the NFL season, the hotel and the casino were packed downtown. Got a picture with Derek Stevens, the CEO of the property, and that was pretty cool. Played mostly blackjack and had no real luck. I'm fully convinced the auto-shuffling machines are a racket. I've never won on a table that used one, and it seems like sixes show up a lot more than usual and at the least convenient times. I'm sure I'm full of baloney, and probably it's just bad luck. I'm still intrigued by the alleged tourist issue in Vegas. I was on the Strip on Friday afternoon, the first week of the football season. It was dead. Went into Bottled Blonde and Old Red by Horseshoe, and you could waltz into both places and get a drink, no problem. No one in the casino really, and especially dead for a late Friday afternoon. I did have to wait in line to check in at Horseshoe for about an hour, so travelers were probably just getting there. I guess the most popular games for the casinos are the multi-denomination slot machines and crapless bubble craps. Without those two attractions, gambling would be negative on the Strip in Vegas, too. I want to throw one more thing out there. Do you think there's a possibility that these giant casino corporations are purposely gouging customers on the Strip to drive them away? Caesars and MGM and Wynn have properties all over the nation and the globe. By sending tourists to these other properties, they can still make money, but can position themselves to renegotiate their leases for the buildings on the Strip with the "oh, woe is me" routine, since they're not getting people to come to those properties. Just a thought, because I, like other travelers, despite my love of Vegas, am getting exhausted by taking a friend to Fat Burger and shelling out $100 for a couple beers and burgers. Thanks as always for the content, and welcome back. I'm recovering from my latest bout of tenesmus. See ya.
Oh, hope you feel better, Kevin. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty unlikely because, if you're driving people away, that isn't a guarantee that they're going to go to your properties in other parts of the country. It's not like Caesars and MGM dominate the rest of the country like they do the Strip.
Right.
So, no, I don't think they're clever enough to think like that. Well, I don't think it would be clever, to be honest, because, I don't think that would be a reason. No.
It's not cleverness. It's conniving.
Conniving, okay.
They're not conniving enough.
Well, they might be conniving enough, but it's just greed. They got away with as much as they could, and now people are starting to fight back, and the media is demonizing them, even though maybe, they say stuff like Vegas is dead. And of course it's not dead, but yes, people are getting tired of it not being the bargain that used to be, at least as far as Strip properties go and things like that. So no, I don't think that's it. But gosh, an hour to check in at Horseshoe. I'm going to be staying at Horseshoe this week. An hour.
Oh, okay.
Yikes. That's not good. Hopefully I won't hit as many crowds. Jeez.
Yeah. An hour is Think about that, a long time
Well,
to be standing in a line.
Yeah, and one of the reasons might be because they are staffing fewer people to actually do that job because there are other ways to check in, right? Online, you can use a digital key on your phone, that kind of thing. Maybe that's also a reason. But yeah, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, the casinos aren't alone in that, wanting to get everybody to alternative ways so they can, like checking in online so they don't have to hire somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, banks want you to bank online. There's a lot of business who are pushing people to use digital methods versus in-person service.
Well, and table games being replaced by electronic table games, right? It's been something that we've talked about a lot recently.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm old and old-fashioned, but like blackjack is not the same when you sit at a machine and play it.
Yeah.
When you're at a table, you're talking to the other people.
It's a different experience. It's a social experience.
It's just a totally different experience. And as much as I like gambling, I don't know if I'd be compelled to go as much if I was by myself all the time.
Yeah, we're gamblers who like playing table games, but there are plenty of people who like playing slots, playing video poker, which for the most part is a solo game, right? You could be sitting next to a friend or whatever, but yeah. Okay, next call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. Matt from Columbus, Ohio here. Huge fan of the show. Been listening for a lot of years. Love the stories of the long craps rolls, 30, 45 minutes. In my career, I've had a lot of long craps rolls, but I could never tell you how many rolls it was or really how long it lasted. But I can tell you with complete accuracy the worst roll I ever had. That was several years ago at the old Monte Carlo in Las Vegas. Step up to a $15 craps table. I'm the roller. First roll, 12. Put my pass line back up again, 12 again. Lose that, another pass line bet, 10. Hey, all right. Put odds behind it. Next roll, 7. That's a roll I'll never forget. Everybody at the table moaned, including the dealers and me, and I sheepishly left the table. So I'd love to know if you guys remember your worst roll ever. I'm sure we've all been there. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.
Matt, we've played so much craps that our worst crap rolls keep happening over and over
and over again.
All right.
How about this? Yeah. How about 3, 12, 3, then you get a point of 6. You take odds. The guy rolls a 9. You're on the come line. You go up to the 9. You take odds. You put another come bet. He rolls a 4. You go up to the 4. You put a odds. You take another come bet. He rolls 10. You go up to 10. You take odds, and then 7 out.
Yeah. So that's my worst situation. Playing the come.
That's my worst situation.
A bunch of craps rolls on the come out roll, and then go up to a bunch of numbers that never repeat. Now, Dr. Mike, if you're playing place bets, well, a lot of times you've got money on craps on the come out roll anyway. So maybe that doesn't affect you much. But of course, your worst roll is the immediate 7 out. Yeah, especially if you've decided, I'm going to go for it this time. I think I'm going to put out twice as much as I normally do, and then 7 out. Right. So it happens much. We don't.
Your worst roll, Mark, I've actually made a couple of
yes,
a little bit of money back.
Right, and
it's still maybe a losing roll for me, but not as bad as yours.
Yeah,
and in my worst roll, you've just lost very little money, and I've gotten wiped out.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So.
Our worst rolls keep repeating over and over. They're all tied.
Yeah, we have a bunch of ties.
For us, it's easier to remember our biggest rolls.
Yes.
Because those happen so infrequently. Speaking of that, then, what do you consider your biggest roll?
I don't think of a biggest roll, Dr. Mike. I think of a biggest session, and that's when we were at Planet Hollywood. Yeah, where we played from like 6 to midnight and the dice went around the table once. And one of the rolls was mine where I did immediate 7 out. That just gives you an idea of how good everybody else's rolls were.
Yeah.
That's what I always think of. Yeah.
That was a good session. I think of 2 in particular rolls, the 4s we hit at Caesars.
Oh, of course. Yes.
And then when you weren't there, but my dad and I were at the table at Harrah's, some kid rolled a bunch of 10s and had a really nice roll, and I won 40,000 in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
That was absolutely amazing. I mean, I was just like, wow, we've been here 20 minutes.
Yeah, so fast. Yeah, so it's not like it's not like it was a 45-minute roll. Just it was perfectly timed on the numbers.
It was unbelievably good timing. I remember those rolls, the bad ones. Well,
too frequent to remember specific ones.
Too frequent. Every time I go to a table, I'm sure to tie again.
All right, let's hear from David.
Hey, you can bet on that. This is David in South Jersey. I was thinking of a fun craps bet that would be hard to hit. How about all hard ways? You have to hit all 4 of the hard ways before hitting a 7. If you hit a soft number before you hit the hard number, you also lose. But if you hit that hard 8 and then later roll another 8, it's okay because you've already hit that one. I don't know how to calculate the math on that one, but it doesn't seem like it would be that hard to keep track of and would be a pretty big payout too. Let us know your thoughts, and thanks for your show.
Yeah, on the last episode, we were trying to think of side bets on the craps table that would have really good payouts. And so that's why David was calling in. David, this bet already exists. We actually talked about it on episode 339. It's called Hard Ways All Day. And it actually does not lose if you hit any of the soft numbers. And even taking that away, it still pays 165 for 1 if you roll all 4 hard ways before 7ing out. I saw it for the first time during my last trip to Vegas. I'll look for it again this time and see if maybe it's catching on. We thought, boy, that's a simple enough bet that pays really well, maybe to catch on.
Yeah, I think that would definitely catch on.
Yeah. It's hard to hit, right? 165 for 1.
Yeah.
So,
it's hard to hit.
And it seems like it's simpler to hit. It's only 4 numbers, but, keep in mind there's 1 out of 36 for each one of them. Yeah. I'll report back and let you know if we see it at more casinos. All right, last call.
Hey, fellas. Tim Lawson from The Better Life here. Just stepped out of Maryland Live, a nice little casino just outside of Baltimore, and a couple funny things happened. First of all, I went to their high limit room where they have Pai Gow for $100, which is pretty good it's a face up, so low house edge, slow, high push rate, good to have a drink and just relax. When I sat down, the dealer's placards, like their name placards, have their name and then like something they're interested in underneath them. So it might be like movies or family or sports or something like that. So I sit down and the woman who's dealing has her name and then it says sports. And so I'm like, oh, you see you're into sports, huh? She's like, uh-huh. And that was it. And a couple beats go by and I'm like, so do you have a favorite sport? And she goes, yep. And to start dealing the cards. I don't know where her favorite sport is. I just know that she has one. That was as much information as I was privileged to have, that she in fact has a favorite sport. Not allowed to know what it is. Her relief comes in for break. And face up, I always wait for the dealer to make their hand before even picking up mine. Dealer makes straight below and like a queen 10 up top. Pull up my hand, aces full of 3s with a 7 deuce. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to make whatever push I can out of this, whatever feels fun. And so I set my hand, and the guy next to me says something, so I turn to him to talk to him. And I look back, and I notice that there is a black chip sitting next to my black chip. I had set my hand, I think, aces and 7 deuce below with the 3s up top, and he paid me. Look, I'm not great at poker, Mark. I think you should know that, but tell me, does a 3 of a kind beat the straight? Do you think maybe when he revealed the hand, he saw the full house and just thought like, oh, that beats my straight and then paid me, forgetting that my 7 deuce would not have beaten his queen 10? I'm trying to think like where he went wrong in paying me, because I definitely set my hand for a push and ended up winning, which meant I came away a winner from the tables, which was nice. So yeah, love you guys. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks, Tim. Yeah, I'm guessing. If I had to guess, I would think that the dealer turned over your hand. Oh, that's a big hand. 3 aces behind, pair of 3s up top. Forgot that he had the straight. Just saw such a big hand and paid it. That would be my guess.
Right. Yeah. Probably didn't even think about the backhand.
Yeah,
Probably just saw the front.
Didn't even think.
Won.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's really great. How often do I have more than 3 of a kind and behind? The thing that does surprise me the most, though, is that these two things happened in the high limit room. A mistake like that, And then the shortness from the first dealer. Yeah, you have a favorite sport? Yes. You know what it reminds me of, Mike? It's not exactly the same, but it's that story where you went over to Paul's parents' house. That was back when he was living with his folks.
Yep.
And he was like, he was, still taking a shower. So you were waiting in the living room and his mom was there shelling macadamia nuts because they had a macadamia nut tree. Yeah. So she's shelling them and put them in jars and everything. And she says, "Do you like macadamia nuts, Mike?" And you said, "Yeah." And that was the end of the conversation.
End of the
she never offered you anything. she just wanted to know if you liked them.
I'm thinking, oh, nice. I'm going to get a jar of macadamia nuts. I love macadamia nuts. And, I'm all hyped up and everything. You like macadamia nuts, Mike? Yeah. Boom. The end of the conversation. Never got any macadamia nuts.
It's one of my favorite stories. Never forget it.
Just curious.
All right. So, yes, I will be in Las Vegas this weekend from Friday, October 17th through Monday, October 20th. I'm going for the celebration of life for Mark Witowitz from 360 Vegas. I know a lot of people will be there. It'll be good to see everybody. It's unfortunate that it is under these circumstances, but there is going to be an event that Saturday night, and of course, I'll report on that on our next episode. So again, looking forward to seeing everybody who will be attending that as well. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. We want to thank some people for some recurring donations. From James, from Jeremy at the Color Up YouTube channel, and from Kurt. Thank you very much for those recurring donations. We also got a donation from listener Todd. He said, "Quarterly thank you donation. The show is great. Please keep it going." Thank you so much, Todd. And we will, as long as we can. Also a donation from podcast favorite John B. "I guess I should send a karma donation because I do it every time. I'm headed to Vegas October 16th through the 20th. So, John, I will see you there as well. Wish it was for happier reasons, but it'll be good to see friends and get to spend time sharing our favorite place with everyone. So, see you there, John. Thank you. Also, a couple of donations from Sean. One of them is a karma donation for my good friend Josh Duffy. He needs it. Josh, the co-host over there at Crap Vegas, hasn't had a winning trip in a while. And I noticed today on Twitter, he posted that he was starting up some coffee dice. So hopefully that went well for him. Hopefully this karma donation works. And then Sean sent a separate donation for Dr. Mike's school. Or he said you could send it to the Institute for Proper Chair Etiquette. If you wanted to do that, Dr. Mike, he even sent a nice
If only there was an institute that cared as much for humanity.
So thank you for those two donations.
Thank you.
Sean.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Hey, at the top of our webpage, you'll find a link to our store where you can buy You Can Bet on That merchandise, or you can just go directly to bettermerch.com. That's BETTOR merch.com. Also, you can find a list of all the gambling-related shows coming up on American television at youcanbetonThat.com/TV-listings. And we've got a list of gambling-related movies at youcanbetonThat.com/movies. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonthat@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. What up, Dr. Mike?
Well, it's funny. I was funny in the timing wise sense. I was talking to a guy at school. He had to go to a funeral of a friend of his, and he's in his, I'd say late 40s, early 50s, maybe. And his friend was someone from high school, so his age, who passed away.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your friend." And he said to me something, and you hear this all the time, but it hits home every time somebody says it. He says, "Gosh, why do we wait? I go there to my friend's funeral and there's all my other friends that I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Why do we have to get together when it's something bad, something sad?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, it just seems like that's just our lives are busy and we never, have time." So then, we're talking about you going for Mark's celebration of life. And it's the same thing, right? Don't wait for those moments.
Yeah.
get together with your friends, and you can't always get together with them because we have busy lives and stuff, but keep in touch with people, call them every once in a while, find out how they're doing. I need to do a better job of that myself.
Yeah.
Because not only is it good for me, it makes them, happy too, hopefully, and then you don't get that feeling when someone passes like, gosh, why, we never get together.
Well, it's so
That
much
kind of thing.
easier now. I just had a Zoom call with a bunch of my high school friends a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Some I had
there you
not
go.
seen since high school. And it was
Yeah.
great, right? It's easier to do. You don't have to make some plans where you're all going to meet up somewhere. It's so much easier to do. I will say this, in Mark's case, this was what made Mark so special. All the people we have been getting together, right? 360
Yeah,
Vegas vacation. He was putting
right.
stuff together. So,
Right.
yeah, he
and
was
thank
really,
God for that.
Yeah,
because he was getting people together
Yeah.
with similar interests.
Yeah.
So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there because it's just a coincidence that just happened this week at school, and I was thinking about that and that's similar to Mark's
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
So
All right, as I mentioned, I'll be staying at Horseshoe. Ooh, I got to do some overnight Keno. It's the only Keno on the Strip anymore, so I hope it's still there. And I will tweet out when I'm out and about. I'm sure I'll know where everybody is. We're getting together for that event on a Saturday, and there's also one on Sunday. So
keep me
watch that. And of course,
well
I'll
informed.
text you about everything that's happening. So,
I'm giving blood that day, so
oh, good.
yeah, I've been on a regular schedule here for a while where I just go in and donate.
Oh, good for you. That's
kind of
great.
funny. After a while, you become friends with the people at the blood bank.
And that's just a real easy way to kind of give back to the community, right?
Very
I know some
easy
people get a
way.
little queasy about needles and stuff like that, but if you don't have a problem with
but
it,
if you don't, and I bleed so easy.
yeah,
I mean,
I'm kind of the same way, yeah.
I'm not kidding. It's like they're always like, "Oh, you filled the bag already."
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh,
yeah,
you've been
but
done for 15 minutes. I'm so sorry.
I give as much blood as I can. Not that anyone really wants my blood,
Yeah,
but in an emergency. If you see a lot of people being louder and
more obnoxious, going on about
disoriented or
things they know
something.
nothing about, then
Right.
he's actually donated to a person.
yeah. That'll be the new thing. Well, that guy's kind of strange. I wonder if he's had some blood donation lately.
Yeah, Dr. Mike. Oh,
Yeah. Okay, let's stop pulling him over. Just let him be.
let him go. He's gone through enough. All right. Thanks for listening,
All right.
everybody. We'll talk in 2 weeks.
Have a good week.
What's all this?
Well, Josie's going to need some of my survival gear. She's going to be out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, San Diego doesn't even have a football team.
How did this happen?
Well, the NFL holds a gun to these cities' heads for a new stadium.
I'm talking about Josie, you dumb giraffe.